Alright, welcome back everybody. So I'm down to the... This is winding her down. I've got... Getting some things done. The body's not mounted, but I did get the wheels and tires mounted. The engine's in it. Needs a drive shaft. Smoked, yes. I smoked the back window with spray paint. Some of you guys said, hey, use... To me, I too late, I'd already done it, but anyway, so I smoked the back window. I didn't want it clear. I wanted it kind of smoked or dark. Well, it'll look probably black once I get it on there. But anyway, got to install the front windshield, but did get, like I say, got the wheels. That was a big deal to get the wheels mounted and the right width. I had to do some adjusting on the width of the front not spindles, but the actual brake hubs like there. I had to I've got a funny way to do my interior too, because this needs to be mounted into the car when it goes on, this actual part, but I want to use the chassis, the bottom portion of the chassis that come from the NASCAR. This I've got this cut out, and I hope once I get it attached to the body it will just slide down over, and I think it will. But I got the rear tires mounted, need a drive shaft, but it's starting to come somewhere or go somewhere. I got these stacks from Market Hobby Nut because I didn't want to just I'm not going to put like a breathers on there, but I did want to do something besides just the looks like just throttle bodies. So I want to put these, so I can get it to stay on there. I got these two stacks, which I think stacks are cool. But anyway, the only problem is they're too. See how close the barrels are. I put that one on there. It hits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flat side both of these, give them both a flat side, and then that way they will fit on there together, and I think it will look fine. If it doesn't, I won't use them, but that's my plan, is to use those stacks. I like the look of those. I did those on my 40 Ford and I wanted to do them on here. So what I have left, I got to get the windows in the car. Got to get the front and the rear window in. The seats are mounted. I got the steering wheel in. It's an all aluminum steering wheel. Thought that would be pretty cool. I've seen those before. And get it basically just put together and do some polishing, cleaning, and that's about it. The radiator, yeah, I've got the radiator. Oh, and the front and rear bumper. So I've got, it's over there to the right, but I've got the radiator, the front and rear bumper. I stripped the chrome off the front and rear bumpers, and I'm painting it with the AK chrome. Doesn't look like what I thought it would look, but once I shoot some clear on there, maybe it will wake that chrome up. I don't know. I'm not an expert at all in shooting those metal color. I need to call Mark Batson sometime and ask him how to do it, because he seems to be pretty good at that. But anyway, let me get started, get going, get this stuff mounted, and this will be the last video. This car is going to be rocking and rolling when this one's over with. Thanks, guys. Stand by. Alrighty. Last segment before I'm done with this thing. I had a few mishaps since the last segment. Got the body on there, and I'm like, dang, the body's not going back far enough. So it wasn't, there was a gap between the radiator and the radiator support. The wheelbase wasn't lining up with the car. Ended up having to on the back side of the door panels, which stuck out beyond the interior. They were on right here on the inside. You can see where it's white. I had to trim that, so it finally let it all slide back. And I'd done some Dremel grinding on here, thinking it was hitting the tubs, but it wasn't. But all that will be covered. You won't see any of that. And what's crazy is, while I was doing some this Dremel work here, the Dremel, have you ever had it where it just grabs something and just goes berserk? Well, it did, and it made It actually broke. These tires are so heavy because they're solid plastic. Because it shook the chassis so violently so quick, it broke off both tires from the inner hubs. And they just went flying across the room. So I was able to gather them up, get them back on there, get the chassis where it sets down. Everything sets straight and nice. And got a radiator hose on there. I don't know if I mentioned that last segment. Radiator hose. Do have my little velocity stacks that I'm going to put on last once I get the body mounted and everything like that. Also got the front and rear. I've got the grill. Oh man, it looks sweet. Got the rear bumpers. Got the W-30 442 license plates. Man, that looks too sweet. But anyway, got to do some polishing once I get the body mounted, and I'm gonna not polish it, clean it. It's completely covered with scuffs, hand marks, fingerprints. Boy, if I ever committed a crime with this car, they would have me for sure, because there's more fingerprints on it than anything else. Anyway, this is it. When I come back, this thing's going to be on the little turntable. We're going to check it out, and then we'll see some pictures. All right, look at this bench. This is crazy. I work in this mess, but it's not always this bad. It's just like this bench isn't my normal bench. Then my 44 truck is over here. That's not my normal. It's a little messier. But then I have the Cadillac over here. That's my normal workspace. But I've done this one over here, and it just gets a little chaotic. I don't know. There's no organizing bins or anything over there for me to put the stuff in, so it just kind of piles up. But anyway, enough said. Let's see this thing finished. Stand by. All right, guys, here it is. I would consider this finished. However, I am going to take it out into the sun so you can see the color. Not having sunlight does not do this color justice at all. It almost just looks brown. So it's, like I say, 69 W-30 442. Well, it used to be powered by Ford. Well, supposed to be a Ford anyway. Many people produce those 429 performance engines. They're not really, I don't guess you'd say it was a Ford, but it was Ford design. But anyway, so let me talk about it real quick. The rims and tires were from Maz Designs, which unfortunately he's not producing these anymore. It was short-lived. He's on to do bigger and better things, but anyway, that's where those came from. I did get my Hoosier decals on my tires. I tried to place them in places that just didn't look like I'm trying to display it. As you can see, I've got that one sort of up in the wheel well. That one's upside down. I just didn't want them like all the same way. Almost looks like you actually drove it. But yeah, that paint, oh boy, I finally found my niche, or my the sweet spot to get the paint to lay down perfect. And it was, I wasn't adding enough thinner. I don't know if it's to do with the leveling thinner or not. I used the Mr. Color leveling thinner, but I doubled my thinner this time. So it was like 1 to 1 instead of doing 2 to 1. I went 1 to 1, and then the hardener in the paint. I don't know. I'm sure all this paint is exactly the same as far as its makeup, but this just seemed to lay down so much smoother, and I can't wait to take it outside and show you guys. But anyway, let me talk about the engine real fast, and you've seen it throughout the build. I had to trim on the hood some because the distributor ended up getting into the hood, and it looks like I might have to trim a little bit more, but anyway. So, oh, really quick, the bumpers are that AK chrome. I sprayed a gloss black, and then I went over it. It's still not as, and then I cleared them. I had to put clear over them because it's a flat. So anyway, they look good. I like the dull look. It's not so bright. It's kind of dull. Get the hood off here. And this engine was previously built. I'd done a video. It was my very first resin engine I ever bought. And it was sitting on the shelf, always waiting on a home. And I thought, you know what better way to really get under the skin of some GM guys than to put a Ford engine. You never see that. You never see it. And I know in the comments they're going to say, you don't see it because they're pieces of junk. But anyway, I think it's actually more like Ford costs a lot more to get horsepower. So they tend to use Chevys. That's fine. Use whatever you want. But I did use whatever I wanted this time. And I used a big Boss, Hemi Ford. Went with the aluminum velocity stacks on top. You can see where I had to make a adjustment as far as between them. They would have hit, so I took and flattened the edges on them both, which turned out nicely, so I could still use them. They glue. You can still see the throttle bodies, the throats down in there. So they're hollow. The interior is the inside is the majority, or the floor pans. The floor pans are the NASCAR kit. The rear, back there you see it says Chevy. That's okay. It's still General Motor car. That is out of the 67 Chevelle. I just like I wanted to delete the back seat. The dash is original dash. The steering wheel come out of a parts bin. I ain't got a clue where it come from, but I wanted an aluminum steering wheel, all aluminum steering wheel. That's what I went with there. And it's got the shifter from the NASCAR, so apparently it's got a 4-speed in it. It does have, I think I want it to be able to focus here. There we go. We do have the disc and the rotors and the rotors and calipers are behind the wheels. Harder to see on the back, they're so small. Blacked out the back window, wanted to give it that dark look, and I think I accomplished that. Radiator was from the NASCAR kit, which worked out perfect. Look at the height. The NASCAR kit allowed me to, or the NASCAR radiator allowed it to just about be flush. I removed a portion of the radiator support. It would have been about the width of that radiator. I removed that. It was a nice line there that was already scribed, so I was just able to remove that. So it couldn't have fit any more. It was almost like it was made for it. Under the bottom is not highly detailed or anything. I like to focus on the paint job and the engine, and my engine's not even that great detail. But under the bottom here, I see a fingerprint, darn it. But anyway, there is the NASCAR front end, which I think is so clean. Oh, by the way, it's got open headers. I didn't want to cap the headers off. I thought that just looks too cool because these 3D printed headers were open on the end. Aluminum drive shaft. Does have leaf springs. Yes, I know this car would have probably had coils, or if you'd have done a 4-link. But this is the Nova rear end, 66 Nova. So we have leaf springs, but that's okay. I think it's still cool. Had to custom make a universal joint for the front of the drive shaft, and shorten the drive shaft. But look at that. Look at that front chassis, how clean and just open for a street rod kit. I just think that NASCAR chassis are really cool. It's a 1/24 scale NASCAR chassis, which didn't really matter to me. I did, because I had to hack nearly the chassis in half up front. I had to add the support bars, look like roll bars going through there. I didn't add a roll cage in the car. Maybe if I do another build, I'll try to build a roll. I've never built a roll cage, but I did bend those bars, and they attach down to the frame. That was actual structural. That wasn't there for looks. I had to do that because the front of my car was so flimsy, because I had taken so much of the material out to get those headers to stay on this engine. What else? I think that's about to cover it, but I found these license plates in my parts box. Don't look too close because it's got the wrong year on it. But I thought, heck, most people's eyes are too bad to see that anyway. But they're 1966 is the year. But I thought, dang, that's a perfect, just an absolute perfect license plate. Maybe no one will notice any of my flaws there. Blacked out the grill. Dang, this thing is so dark. Blacked out the grill, and on the rear there is the look at that, man, that looks fat right there, golly. But the tail lights look great. The license plates, I couldn't be more happier. Could not be more happier. So I'm gonna take it outside, and if this darn camera would stay like I want it to, I struggle so much. My lighting in here is so poor. Let me get the I guess I'll put the hood back on. I'll walk outside and check it out in the sunlight. Stand by. All right, so I can barely see my phone. It's so bright out here, but I'm sure hoping you can see that beautiful metallic, that black cherry. I just thought that would be the perfect color for this thing, and not to mention that I saw a 1-to-1 that was painted this color. The wheels made it. I think that really is something that not downing the guys who use the wheels off the Chevelle, but these just did it. Especially the little details, the bolts, different colors and things like that, and then the bead locks, and I just couldn't be more happy with that. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. I appreciate all of your support, and if you hadn't already subscribed, go hit that subscription button. If you hadn't already gone to the Facebook group, go over there and check us out. Model Car Videos Facebook group. It's linked in the description below, as well as Hobby Nut Models, where this paint came from, and the velocity stacks came from Hobby Nut. So Mark carries things like just accessories, detail package, parts for detailing, obviously the paint, glue, model kits, anything you can think of. Mark has got it over at Hobby Nut Model. So go check out Hobby Nut Model. Sorry for the background noise. I'm outside, obviously, and I live beside a busy road. But go check those things out. Teespring store, go grab yourself a t-shirt, maybe a sticker or a coffee mug, and the Patreons. Thank you so much, you guys that support me on Patreon. I keep saying going to have a live stream soon, very soon, very, very soon. I see a fingerprint, darn it, over there. It's not the paint, but it's just a nasty fingerprint. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you hadn't given it a thumbs up already, do that. It helps me out a lot. And hey, until the next video, we'll see you later. I hope to see this. Maybe if we meet up at a show sometime in the near future, I'll be able to show this car to you guys. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to go check out Fred Henry. He also built the same car, well, the same body. He went a little different direction. Fred Henry is the channel name. I'll link him in the description below. We did this as a buddy build, so go check out Fred's build. He should be finishing up. If he had to kind of pull back the reins because I was taking so long, but Fred should be about finished up. So you guys go check him out, and I'm gonna take some pictures of this thing, and we will see you later. Take care, guys. Bye.